there, it is the 31st March today. I'm in a truck, back on the road, getting loaded with spuds in Idaho Falls. Bit of catching up to do. In this video, I'm going to put a bit in at the end here. You'll see what it's all about, getting dumping a load of a spoiled load, shall we say. So, updates. Still got all the same guys. Wes is in the oil field hauling sand. It's working out quite well for us down there in New Mexico. Texas was not as good as New Mexico, and we're back in New Mexico. So, and that seems to be working out a lot better. The loads pay over $1,000 each, and if you do one a day, it's good. But if you can do two, that's the target. You can't do it every day, but if you can get that second one squeezed in, it's pretty decent for a week. Sorry about the jiggling there in the camera. So, we have an incident that has been going on for about 3 weeks. It's dealt with, as far as I'm concerned now. I had a truck down in Miami where the broker spoke to them and they said, hey, got a load. Never once did they mention that it was a frozen load to me, and so I booked it. Sometimes brokers don't want to tell you it's -10 or whatever because they don't want you to be jacking the price up to pay for the reefer fuel. So they never told me it was frozen. Whether it was on omission deliberately or not, I'm not going to comment on that, give them the benefit of the doubt, but never once did they tell me it was frozen load, because I don't take frozen loads out of Miami or Las Vegas or Arizona. Just don't do it. Too much of a contrast for the temperature inside the box as to being outside the box. Okay, fair dues. So we get this loaded up. I sent the driver to pick it up. He goes there, never told him it was frozen. The rate confirmation never said anything about any temperature settings on it. He goes there to an open dock in Miami, never been asked to cool his trailer down to -10 or 18 or 20. They load him. He's in the truck, they load him, they come up to him, ask him to pull forward from this open dock. He pulls forward, they put the load locks in, they close the doors, they seal the trailer. Two Puerto Rican guys walk up to him that don't speak English and hand him the paperwork. He never has asked to sign anything, so he just assumed with an open dock that it was a, you know, dry load or whatever, and drove all the way from Miami to Idaho with this load of frozen cheese stuffed jalapenos. The guy just told me that they were jalapenos and I didn't know a thing about it until he got to drop off in the Boise area, and I got a phone call. It's obviously the doo-doo has hit the fan. You know, nobody wants a load of thawed out frozen product, so the broker then said, well, you need to take it back to Miami, and I said, I don't think so. So I spoke to our insurers and they said, well, no, that's not how it works. They may be trying to get the product back and resell it or do something with it. So we decided that under the advisement of the insurance company that I would just dump this load. So in one section of this video that will be coming up towards the end, myself and Paul and my son Daniel went up into the tip to dump this load. I had to refreeze it obviously so that it didn't start to stink out the trailer and rot in the back of the trailer. And it's been in the back of the trailer for almost 3 weeks. We went up there to do it, too frosty, muddy, couldn't get it in the tip. They went to take it to the transfer station and they only charged me $50 to do that, to take that up there. Very, very gracious of them to do that. It's supposed to be $39 a ton, but I get quoted $50 by somebody that didn't really know the rules, and then they stood behind that. So yesterday, and you'll see in the video, I get rid of it all. So that's it, dumped. You move on, you pay insurance for these things, and we'll see what the outcome is. The insurers, the people, well, what do you call them, the adjuster, they are quite confident that there's enough discrepancy there. There was never a check call made to the driver. to say which are reefer at, where you at, nothing like that. There was a lot of balls dropped on their side. Certainly, I don't think that we're 100% blameless, but that's for cleverer people than me to pay, that get paid a lot more money than me to deal with. So that's that. Hope you like the bit of segment of me unloading it and trying to unload it and coming out the tip. So that'll be coming up. My wife's back in Scotland, she get back there. Just incidentally, if anybody thinks that when you leave the country and go back in, and I hear them saying that there'll still be tests to make sure that you're clean of the worldwide infection that's out there at the minute, I'll tell you how that works. When we left Scotland to come over here to go to work early here, it was £150 in Glasgow from select places that you go to. Then when my wife was flying back there, it was $170 before she flew back to make sure she was clear to fly. Then at the airport, this is the bit they don't tell you, even if you're not going into quarantine, you have to do these day 2 and day 8 tests. And before you get your boarding pass, and this is, she wasn't flying from one of the 33 high-risk countries, you have to get prepay right there at the airport, check in, you have to prepay for 2 tests at a cost of £210. So it's over £500 for a person to leave the UK and go back again. You don't get to go in, you have to fill in your online track and trace thing at the airport there, and you need a reference number from your tickets, from the receipt that you get. So you've got to put that in before they'll do it. They need to see proof that you've got these tests prepaid. So even if they say you can fly out the country, sorry about the jiggling again, if Ryanair are doing cheap flights to Tenerife and you're thinking you can take your family there and £100 each for the tickets, you're at £400, rent an apartment for £600, that's £1,000. Then it's going to cost you another, for a family of 4, it's going to cost you another £2,000 by my calculations. I could be wrong, but based on what we paid, it was £500 for one. So you can pay double the amount of money for your tests to leave and come back. That's what your holiday costs you for flights and accommodation. So yeah, hopefully that all gets cleared up soon and they do something with these vaccines that people can get, you know, cleared to do that, because these paying all that money for tests is ridiculous. So that's that. Wife's back home, she got her vaccination yesterday and had an adverse reaction to it, where her Fitbit woke her up on her arm during the night when her pulse was at 120 something, and it showed that she was doing cardio workout because the pulse was so high, because she had a headache and a reaction to the vaccine. So not all plain sailing there. The trucks have been running alright, quite decent. I'm getting loaded here with this load, going to run out and meet Brett tonight down in Green River, Utah. I'll swap with him and bring his load back up to Salt Lake. Hopefully I'll unload that in the morning, run back up to Idaho, switch trailers out, because the one that he's got needs some work done in the reefer, and reload and run out and meet Justin, run back and reload again, and blah 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 blah, keep it all going. Trying to think what else has been going on. Yeah, here's a gig for you. Insurance, truck insurance. That is I wish the Mafia would run it, because it would be cheaper. It's the insurance broker that I've used for years, been pretty good. However, this year I got my renewal. I've made a video about it before, and they quoted me 2 options. One was a company that I didn't want to go with, and they were 82,000. Another one was 85. I went with the 85. Paid the deposit on the 5th of March. Paid that, renewed my insurance. And to renew your insurance, they ask you for your driver's list and driver's licenses. So I sent them all through and I get these 2 quotes. 22 days later, I get a phone call from them to say, hey, one of your drivers, before that, I questioned why the insurance was high, and they said, well, you picked up 2 speeding tickets last year, and one of your drivers got 2 tickets last year, and the reason that it's so high is because this other driver is not as old as you, and you've got tickets. Wes has got a couple of tickets that are old. They've been on there since we started insuring with them, but they'd said categorically the reason that your insurance is so high is because of these tickets. Alright, well, if you want to play, you've got to pay. So I signed up for the $85,000 one, paid the deposit. And like I said, 22 days later, I get a phone call from this girl in the insurance brokers that says, hey, I've just had something from the insurance carrier to say that you've got a driver that we need to charge a surcharge on him driving for you because the ticket, he's got 2 tickets. I said, yeah, you've already done that. I said, just curiosity, what's the surcharge? And she said $16,000. It was as if I was out for lunch with her and she said, you need to pay for this one. As blasé and arrogant as that, and I said, no way. You guys must be smoking crack if you think that you're going to get away with this. You quoted me 22 days ago. Nothing has changed in that 22 days. So why are you all of a sudden coming back? So they did some investigation and come back to me and said, well, that was for the other company. They said that the reason that theirs was so high was because of this driver's driving record. I said, but you asked me for all the stuff to quote. You quoted based on the information I gave you. Yeah, but we never sent the company that you're currently with the updated driver's license list. Like, why? Why would you not do that? Why have you given me a false quote? So eventually they put their hands up, admitted that they had made a complete and utter hash of it. I'm going to say something else there, but I want this to still stay on YouTube. And they made a mistake, and they suggested that we don't want to lose your business, but these other guys in town are much cheaper than us. I would suggest that you try them and they'll save you a lot of money. I said, well, this $16,000 is obviously going to be backdated to when I renewed the policy. You guys are going to be covering that until this gets switched over, and I want a letter from you to say that you made the mistake, you misquoted, and that's the reason I'm changing insurance companies, because if you change mid-year, it doesn't look good in your record. So the owner of the company is going to be in tomorrow, or today. I'm supposed to be meeting him and discussing how he's going to compensate us for this complete and utter hash up. So I've later found out that a lot of the carriers have dropped this broker for poor performance and one thing or another, I believe. So I've heard. May not be true, but I'm not going to be using them. I've got all my stuff to shop around, and I've found somebody that's going to give us some quotes that are very confident they'll be able to beat that by quite a substantial amount of money. So it could all work out well in the long run. So I'm going to load this. Well, I think I should be almost loaded now. I've been in here since 7 o'clock and it's 7:30. So aye, just as I got the words out of my mouth there that I think I must be a bit loaded, they called me to say that I am loaded. So good timing. I'll go get my paperwork, get it signed, pick up my glasses. I left them in the back of the trailer that was unloading yesterday, and I can't see to sign anything, so I need to go get them and hit the road. So I'll make some more footage as I go along, but I hope for this goes all on the video with the unload and reload stuff, so unloading the junk. So alright, thanks for watching.